is the Wizard News for Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. Musical accompaniment by Brent Laidler from the album Wouldn't Be Here Without You. A new qualitative study of 113 millionaires of color found that nearly all had experienced racial or ethnic bias. It's so obvious, but it's also very profound, said report co-author Hallie Lee, founding partner at Radiant Strategies and a co-founder of the Donors of Color Network. She says the finding demonstrates the ways that racism has affected the lives of millionaires of color, from where they raise their families to the people and causes they support. The study was released by the Donors of Color Network, a membership organization for wealthy philanthropists from marginalized backgrounds, along with two consulting companies, Radiant Strategies and the Vade Group. From 2016 to 2018, Lee and a research team traveled to 10 U.S. cities to conduct 90-minute conversations with donors of color who had $1 million or more in cash on hand. The result, the authors say, is a qualitative snapshot rather than a representative sample. People of color who are givers are bringing a different set of priorities to the table from their own life experience, says report co-author Urvashi Vade, who co-founded the Donors of Color Network and is president of the Vade Group. She says that changes both the agenda of philanthropy and what is possible for the nonprofits they support. Vade points to the contributions of the donors to social and racial justice causes from 2015 to 2017, the years the researchers asked donors about their giving. Donors ranked both causes in their top 5 philanthropic priorities. Education was the most popular cause, named a priority by slightly more than 65%. More than 44% said social justice was a top cause, closely followed by women and gender rights at nearly 40% and racial justice at more than 36%. The growth in racial justice giving that has happened recently was prefigured in our data, Vade says. This is a community that was giving heavily. The interviews with high net worth people of color draw a straight line from the donors' personal experiences, completing higher education, experiencing racism, and grappling with economic inequality, to their philanthropic priorities. There are striking similarities among the donors interviewed for the study. Many of them said their parents raised them to value giving and helping others, and most also said they managed their philanthropy without the assistance of a professional philanthropic advisor. What is more, the interviews underscored how well-connected wealthy donors of color are, especially because of membership in fraternity, sorority, or community organizations, Lee said. Another commonality among the donors interviewed is that more than 65% were self-made millionaires. Nearly 78% of the donors interviewed said they had helped relatives and friends cover living and educational expenses, provided emergency monetary support, and helped pay for weddings, among other costs, in the year before they were interviewed. Fundraisers can have tunnel vision when it comes to identifying new donors, seeking out new supporters who look like their current ones. But when they do not seek out donors of color, they leave a lot of money and connections on the table. The donors interviewed for the study made median annual contributions of $87,500 to charities, political campaigns, houses of worship, and family and friends. The largest share of donors in the report, roughly 30%, said they contributed $50,000 or less a year to those beneficiaries. More than 20% said they gave upwards of $300,000 a year, and of those, 55% estimated their annual giving at $1 million. One way for nonprofits to build relationships with these donors is to hire fundraisers of color. If they do not, fundraisers are more likely to connect mostly with white donors. It is also important for nonprofit groups to check their biases, said Lee. Again and again, donors told her about fundraisers who assumed their houses would not be big enough to host an event, or that they did not know other wealthy people who could support their cause. Philanthropist Mona Sinha puts it this way: as a donor of color, we are often faced with the same barriers that many of our grantees face. Source: AP News, March 11th, 2022.